All right, we're now at number 12 on your practice test. It says complete the XY table and graph the function. Show your work. You must show your work for these. So because my domain is given, I know it's going to be discrete. So my x values are -4, -2, 0, and 2. Remember, when you're subbing in, you must put parentheses around it. So y equals, in parentheses, -4 squared divided by 2 minus 3. You need the parentheses. -4 times -4 is +16 divided by 2 minus 3. So you end up with 8 minus 3, which equals 5. Your next one, you have y equals, in parentheses, -2 squared divided by 2 minus 3. Again, it's inside parentheses. So you get 4 divided by 2 minus 3. 2 minus 3 is -1. Then y equals, in parentheses, 0 squared divided by 2 minus 3. 0 squared, 0 divided by 2 minus 3. 0 minus 3 equals -3. And last but not least, y equals, in parentheses, 2 squared divided by 2 minus 3. So you get +4 divided by 2 minus 3. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 minus 3 is -1. And then this is nicely labeled for you. So we have -4, +5, -2, -1, 0, -3, and 2, -1. And you're done. Number 13. Now, number 13. Most people probably, because we're graphing and you got to pick, probably chose -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. To see the shape, I'm going to add 3 and 4. So these will show you the V shape. If you just had these, if this were the test, I would tell you that these would help you see the shape. So I'm going to go ahead and sub these in. So we have f of -2 equals the absolute value of 3 minus -2 plus 1. So we end up with plus the absolute value of 5 plus 1. So 5 plus 1 equals 6. F of -1 would be the absolute value of 3 minus -1 plus 1. So that becomes plus. So you have the absolute value of 4 plus 1, which is 4 plus 1, which gave you 5. Again, if I'm going too quickly, you can hit pause and slow down a little bit. F of 0 is going to be the absolute value of 3 minus 0 plus 1. So the absolute value of 3 plus 1, 3 plus 1 equals 4. Then we have f of 1 equals the absolute value of 3 minus 1 plus 1, which gives you the absolute value of 2 plus 1, which is 2 plus 1, which gives you 3. Classroom below us is shaking. So f of 2 equals the absolute value of 3 minus 2 plus 1. So the absolute value of 1 plus 1, which is 1 plus 1, which gives you 2. Now these are the extra ones that you might not have had. So go ahead and add them because it will show you the pattern. F of 3 equals the absolute value of 3 minus 3 plus 1. So you have the absolute value of 0 plus 1, which is 1. And then last but not least, you have f of 4 equals the absolute value of 3 minus 4 plus 1, which is the absolute value of -1 plus 1, which is 1 plus 1, which equals 2. So if I graph them, I have -2, 6, -1, 5, 0, 4, 1, 3, 2, 2. And you can see, you didn't see the V, but when I add these two, 3, 1, and 4, 2, now you can see that V shape absolute value. And you do connect because you picked do connect. Because no domain was given. Here you did not connect because the domain was given, so you left it as dots. Number 14. So we're on to the back. The table shows the percent of raw materials exported over a 4-year period. Draw a scatter plot and a trend line. So we have our independent, because time's always independent, and our dependent, which is our raw materials. So I looked and it went from 0 to 11. But then I noticed I need to predict in 2014. You must have 2014 on the graph. You cannot predict if it's not on there. So I'm going to put a little break here, and I'm going to start at 08, 09, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. Then I noticed that these were decreasing. Because they were decreasing, and I need to go all the way to 2014, I'm not going to make a break and start right at 48 because I know it's going to be getting lower than 48. I did draw my break, but I thought to myself, if in 1, 2, 3, 4 years it went more than 10%, 12%, I know that I'm going to have to at least go, I'm going to maybe start at 30%. And go up to 60%. And then I thought to myself, okay, well, 30% to 60%, that's a total of 30. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 lines essentially. So I had to go 30%. I'm not going to go by 10. I'll maybe go, what's 5? Let's go by 5. So maybe start at 30%. 35%, 40%, 45, 50%, 55%, 60%, 65%, 70%, and then go ahead and plot them. So we have 08 was 60%, so 08 was 60%. 09 was 52%, so about there, approximating. 10 was 54, so it's a little bit higher. 11 was 48, so it's down here. Then it says based on the trend line, which means you have to draw a trend line, which I always think it's easier if I kind of outline these and then draw my line, a straight line. So I'm going to pull out my straight line ruler through the middle, following the trend. Now that's not quite in the middle, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move it around here a little bit. So this is not quite in the middle there. So if I took my line here and I shifted, no, it's not moving very well, so I moved my graph. Now you can see it's in the middle, but I'm not done yet because I need to have an arrowhead right here. You must have. And we're predicting in 2014. So I'm going to go up from 2014, which is right here. I'm going to go up to my line and over to my Y. And I would say that this is 14, it's about 34%. So I would say my answer is approximately 34% based off of my line. If you got somewhere around there, that would be fine. But you have to have the 2014. Otherwise, you cannot make a prediction. Number 15, find the next 3 terms. Because they're fractions, you want to get a common denominator. And I said my common denominator equals 8. So it would be 1/8. 1/4 times 2 times 2 is 2/8. 3/8. And then 1/2 is 4/8. So I know that my difference is plus 1/8. So my next term would be 5/8. Then I'd have 6/8, and then 7/8. But my answer I have to simplify. 5/8 stays. 6/8, they're both divisible by 2. So I get 3/4, and 7/8 stays. Okay, last question. What is the 37th term of the arithmetic sequence? So remember, a sub n equals a sub 1 plus n minus 1 times d. So a sub 1 is your first term, is 4.1. And what term we're looking for is going to be 37. And your difference, how do I get from 4.1 to 3, 3 to 1.9, 1.9 to 0.8? Well, I subtracted 1.1, so that's what makes it negative because it was subtraction. So when I sub these numbers in, I have a sub 37 equals 4.1 plus 37 minus 1 times negative 1.1. 37 minus 1 is 36. So 4.1 plus 36 times, keep your negative 1.1 in parentheses so you know it's multiplication. So you get 4.1 plus 36 times negative 1.1 is going to give you negative 39.6. Add the two together and you get negative 35.5. So your answer is A sub 37 equals negative 35.5. And then you're done. Great job.